Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was the Godlike Genius with Chakra technology, guys. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the other What Ifs I already posted. Over on Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to the Marvel Universe, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys. And over Anime Prince, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto had an OP quirk in My Hero Academy, so go ahead and enjoy that as well, guys. If you're new, yes, that's right, I indeed have 4 channels. Yes, not 3, 4 guys, that I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Links will be down in the description for these channels, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into new episode start? The intro, guys. So the last time we left off, AI found the notes on the Hirishin, which got Naruto pretty excited as they were moving out towards a larger mansion. However, Naruto, pocket dimensions or that, pocket dimensions, being able to tear a hole in space and time was something different that Naruto was trying to get under his control. And now that she had the notes, well, this was better than he could ever expected. So with that, Naruto went to take his tests. Iruka, well, he had to give Naruto the go-ahead to pass. Because Naruto aced everything, he went above and beyond, showing that, well, he was better than what Iruka could even imagine. As Iruka realized that he was wrong in that endeavor. As Naruto arrived home, as he told AI that he passed, he congratulated him. It was then that Mizuki came knocking, as Naruto stepped outside, not wanting the man to see inside of his home. As he spoke to Mizuki, who told him that, well, Naruto was one to take challenge, as he tried to use Naruto's arrogance against him. As he told him about the Forbidden Scroll, Naruto went straight to the old man as he informed him about that. They talk, as Hiruzen was quite upset. He found out about that Mizuki was working with someone, as Naruto came to the same conclusion. There was no way that he had the balls to pull this off by himself. He was definitely working with someone who, well, they were gonna find out. So with that, Naruto went to spend some time with Uncle, as he was sneaking out in 3 in the morning. Well, not really sneaking out, as she woke up though. She asked him what he was doing, as he told her to just go along with it. She was confused, but she decided to trust him for now as he went away. Sometime later, as Asuma and Kurenai came by, saying that Uzumaki had stole Forbidden Scroll. So with that, Naruto waited in the forest, as he had lied to the old man because he had went into the scroll himself. And he did not tell the old man because, well, that was a secret artifact that people like him shouldn't have. Mizuki arrived though as Naruto was standing there rather nonchalant. He tried to bait Naruto, he tried to trick his mind, however, Naruto was 10 steps ahead of him. And besides, they all underestimated him, and Naruto was a lot more powerful than he thought, as he knocked Mizuki out. As Naruto arrived back to the tower, him and Hiruzen spoke. It turns out that Hiruzen knew about everything. As Naruto was rather apologetic, but the old man told him that that would be his reward that he will get for this, as that was suitable enough after all. Hiruzen saw a leader within Naruto, as he could become something great. He just needs to put himself out there. As they talked for a while, the way the man was speaking, it seems like he was thinking about making Naruto a leader for the future. As Hiruzen didn't have much time left, it seems. He was a man that come to understand his mortality. As Naruto understood that, he went by Anko afterwards, as she was rather upset as she slammed him against the wall for not telling her what was going on. As they got to speak, as Naruto told her the plain truth that he was trying to find out the inner workings of the seal, as he was using her to look about the seal. She knew that he was using her for that purpose, and also, it was amazing what they did together. He wasn't going to lie to her and tell her something that she wanted to believe. He was always going to tell her the truth. and she accepted that. Afterwards, Naruto returned back to his apartment. As he went to got on moving. After that, he could be seen on top of the monument as Jiraiya came to find him. Jiraiya came back to the village with some information to give to Sarutobi, as he came to find Naruto up here. As they spoke for a bit before Jiraiya hit towards the bathhouses. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play, check it out for yourself, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs over on the other channels, that is Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime King Prince. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, what is we jump right into this new episode. Begin now guys. Holy crap. This is a huge mansion, Uncle told Naruto, as she saw it. You can say that again, said Naruto, as he nodded in agreement. It was true after all. He had no idea that the Hokage pulled out that much money. But he guessed after bounties and taxes, and spending money on infrastructure, there was still quite a bit left for the Hokage to pocket. Nonetheless, this was a big mansion. The letter along with the key that he received from his father told him that a lot of the place was covered in blood seals. There were 3 floors that had 10 rooms. Naruto suspected that his mother, who was one of the last few Uzumakis, had probably received a sizable inheritance, but there was no way to prove that. He had mixed feelings about this place. It was big and everything, but it seems like he should be more attached to this place. But when he thought about it, everything just kinda felt short. His parents told him in the inheritance letter that they left the place for him. They built it for him. He supposed that he was nice, but life was unfair after all. Life took his parents away from him, but it gave him superior intelligence, so he was not going to complain about it anymore. You brought me to break in the bedroom, Uncle asked, with a sly smile on her face. As Naruto smiled at her, that wasn't a bad idea, but now was not the time. Later, he said. So if you're not here to make sweet, sweet love to me, then why did we come here, she said. I brought you here because I want you to tell me everything about Orochimaru, he told her. It felt like the temperature had dropped completely after he told her what he wants. The cheery uncle turned into a gloomy one, maybe even an angry one. So now it's not enough to study the seal. You want me to relive the worst time of my life? Is that it, she said. I want to understand him, believe me. He's left a lot of notes I've been looking at, but they don't involve you, which tell one of 2 things, said Naruto. One could be that you did not matter at all, which sounds really unlikely because on your shoulder you wear what has now become his signature, and he wouldn't do that to you. What is the other option, she said. The other option was that you were more than just a mere number. He had plans for you. So you want me to bare my soul to you, she said. She seemed vulnerable. No, I want you to tell me about you and him. What was it about him? As Naruto paused for a while. Or you, he said. She thought about it for a while. It seems longer than it really was. Before she sat down on a chair. You better give me a nice screwing after this, because this is gonna make me really sad, she said. He didn't say anything. There were things more important than sex, and finding a solution to the curse seal was one of them. I became an orphan when I was 4. My mom was too young to care about me, and she died. Probably in a ditch. Her tone was filled with a bit of disdain. My dad was better, he was a ninja, and I wanted to become one because of him. He took care of me, and I remember the candies he brought me, and the dango. Then I remember him dying. A mission went haywire, I think, and then he was done for. I cried. I remember crying a lot and being put in an orphanage, which I really hated. As Naruto could sympathize with her on that. But I was smart, she said. And I'm not being arrogant, she told him. I was really smart. I love reading books. I read vigorously. See? I know big words like that, she said. Uncle, stay on topic, he said. Right. So I read and pretty soon, I was ahead of the other kids. I wanted to be a ninja, but to enroll in the pre-academy was 5 years away. And at that age, fulfilling my dream was about 13 years away. And that is what caused the resentment. I began to lash out. I had a few friends, but by the time I was done, they weren't friends anymore. The strange thing is, I can't remember how I found him. You mean Orochimaru, he said. Uncle nodded. I don't really remember. I remember I showed up at the Hokage's office when I did something wrong, and he was there. And I think he liked what I said, because he asked the Hokage for me, as sort of an apprentice, somewhat to train. Naruto knew that she was smart. Orochimaru probably saw something inside of her that made him take her on as a student. I was hooked after that, she said, with a smile on her face. He was like this incredible source of knowledge, And he was really patient, she said. Is that it? Is that all he was, said Naruto, hoping that she would give him more than that. Patient. She shook her head. I was getting to it, she said, with a huff. He was also secretive. He spent a lot of time doing things that he told me was not fit for me to see. A child. That is. I should have known. If I was smarter, I would have figured it out. Anything else you remember about him, Naruto asked. He was resentful. He believed that he hid it very well, but he never did. He was not happy with the position that he was in. He wanted to be at the top. You know, like your dad. Minato Namikaze. Did you know that he was my dad before I show you this mansion, said Naruto. Anyone with half a brain could figure out your parentage. But I never knew that he was sweet on Kushina, said Uncle. Let's get back to the conversation at hand, said Naruto. You said that it was resentment. Yeah, a lot of it, she said. I mean, that man hated your father. It was really hard not to pick it up. It wasn't like your dad was fond of him either, because things seemed rather cold between them. But they maintained a civil relationship. However, it left the third in an awkward position, being the Hokage advisor, and also Orochimaru teacher. You picked up on all of this, said Naruto, as he sounded impressed. Don't sound too impressed, anyone could have. But I was the only one close enough. By this point his other teammates were already gone. They said that Jiraiya was off gallivanting, whilst Nadia had hightailed it towards the nearest casino. The only pride the third could get was to see how well Orochimaru did for himself. How did you feel about all of this, said Naruto? What do you think I felt like? I wanted him to do well. He was my master. I sympathized with him. I had seen him work. The way he taught me, it was like no other. And despite the fact that I hate him, I will still say that he made me the kunoichi I am today. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have even come this far. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be the farthest you can go. At least, according to my sources, said Naruto. Are you making fun of me now, she said, with a scowl. I'm making a point, said Naruto. As she continued to scowl at him before, she returned back to the matter of hand. I feel ashamed to say this, but I was in love with him, she said. As Naruto raised eyebrow at that. At least I thought I was, she said. I mean, I was 13 years old, and love, at that age, is really different from what it is now. I would dream about marrying him, to be within the moment I turned 18 years old, and things like that. Did you reciprocate this love, said Naruto. I didn't tell him for a whole year, she said, as she started to choke up. And when I finally did, he told me that I was a mere child. And he looked at me only as a student, and nothing more. But, as she paused, but what, said Naruto. I still remember this like it was yesterday. He told me that things could change between us, but I need to be strong for him. And that is where this comes into play, she said, placing her hand over her seal. As Naruto felt guilt, he didn't know why, but he didn't want her to relive any more of that, as he could feel her breaking down. As he got up and moved towards her, she looked at him with a strange look, but before she could say anything, he hugged her. He tried to put as much warmth as he could in that one hug, telling her that he understood at least a little bit of what she felt like. Thanks for that, she said, after they stopped hugging. But I need to let this out. He gave me the seal, and after that, it knocked me unconscious. When I came to, I was in my bed, and I was naked. I felt this evil energy come off me. In that moment I knew that something was wrong. And then he finally showed up. He asked me to join him because he was deserting the village. Why didn't you, said Naruto. Because for the first time I saw him for what he really was. I sat there, covered in sheets, as he caressed my hand and told me how he had done some experiments, but they had accused him of far worse. He said that I was the only tie that he had in this village. And I saw him, I truly saw him for the manipulated sneak that he was. I didn't know why it took me so long. As tears started to gather in her eyes, as Naruto moved in, however she pushed him off. I told him to stop, she said, as she started to cry. I told him that the village came before all else, and that's when he started to manipulate me. He activated the seal. He activated the torture device on the seal. He told me that I would be nothing without him, but I told him I would prove him wrong, and that is what I've been doing ever since then, she said. That's all I know. I was not privy to what else transpired between him or the third Hokage. As she got up, I need to go, she said. But Naruto reached out and grabbed her hand. No, he said. She looked towards him. Have I told you how messed up this is? The fact that we several times, said Naruto. As he moved in and kissed her. He had kissed her at least several times before, but this had far been the most passionate. What do you want? He asked her. I want to forget, she said. Then let's go and break in the bedroom, he told her. The next morning Naruto woke up, he was glad. His sleeping schedule was restored. As he looked towards the naked uncle, she was still asleep. They had worn each other out last night. As he just looked at her. "Stop staring at my face," she said. "I'm a light sleeper." As Naruto smiled, as he kissed her hand. "I would appreciate if you kissed me a bit lower than that," she said. As she opened her eyes. "Good morning, sir." Uncle looked around, frightened by the voice. "And ma'am," a voice said. "Naruto, what the hell is that?" said Uncle as she looked around. "No need to be alarmed, my lady." The voice that sounded suspiciously like Chakra said to her. "I am extremely sorry, sir. I have only become recently functionable at this house, and it took me a while to realize that you had company." Naruto shrugged. "I was probably gonna bring her in the fold eventually, AI," he said. "Don't feel too bad about it." "AI? What the hell is AI? Where is her voice coming from?" asked Uncle as she looked around. "I am called AI. It is a shorter term of artificial intelligence," AI said. "I was created by Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm currently running at a version 1.2, she said. "Wait a second," Uncle said. "Artificial intelligence is a thing of fiction. There is no way that it's real in real life," she said. "AI," said Naruto. "Show her." Uncle eyes widened as a picture of her curse mark was projected in front of her. It looked like it was three-dimensional, and that because it was. "Go ahead," said Naruto. "Try touching it." "Slide it around," he told her. She reached out and touched it before she flipped it around. As she squealed as it did. "AI combined my chakra, my sealing knowledge, and a slightly expensive computer," said Naruto. "It is true chakra tech, and it won't be my first one," Naruto told her. "Naruto," Uncle said. "This is... I know. It's pretty incredible," said Naruto. "And I can't believe this is happening, but I'm bringing you into the fold," said Naruto. She turned towards him. "The fold?" "Yes. It began 2 days ago," said Naruto. Flashback. 2 days ago. "I found out that we need to conduct experiments and see for ourselves because theoretical knowledge can only lead us so far, sir. Maybe we need to give this more resource than we are giving it at the moment and put everything else on hold. And that includes the uranium." Naruto couldn't help but think about the fact that he needed more resource when he came back from his talk with Jiraiya. He'd also realized what was haunting the old man. It was loneliness. It haunted everyone. It haunted the best of them. Naruto didn't want to be that guy. He wanted people that he could trust. He knew that he wanted to let his name resonate with the world for ages and ages to come. And it was not going to be easy if he was doing it alone. Which was where he came up with a plan. Over the years he had lived, he had realized that his fight was with war. And not everyone was to blame for the trouble that was caused in this world. He didn't know if true peace was a fool pursuit. He heard about his father and godfather pursuing true peace. And perhaps it's fitting that he should aspire for something similar. A utopia where there was no hunger, fear, or war. If it was possible to create utopia, he was going to get as close to it as he possibly could. With that plan start to form in his head. AI. Most of this village is filled with shit, but there had to be people here that he could trust, right? Like the old man or Jiraiya. They've done shit in the past, but they've been honest with me for a while now. "Do you know anyone else I can trust like that?" said Naruto. "Why, sir? Are you planning on revealing to them the intricate details of your research?" "I won't tell everyone everything," said Naruto. "But I will tell them a lot of things, and they're gonna help me out with stuff. Take Sakura and Shikamaru, my teammates. Both of them are trustworthy people, and they're smart. As his uncle, they are the kind of people that will excel in their research orientation role. Uncle and Sakura are fine, but isn't Nara a bit lazy, sir? Don't underestimate him, AI. He will get more work done staring at clouds than Sakura and Uncle will get running around, trust me. He can't be too good with the science stuff, but with all the planning and handling my business, I think he can do that pretty well. I reckon with these 3 people in the fold, we can juggle our ninja duties and our role in Chakra Tech," said Naruto. "That's a good idea, sir, and I do like the name you've given to it, the fold. It got a nice ring to it." End of flashback. "And so that's it. Would you like to join?" said Naruto. Uncle just stared at him. "And what exactly is this fold?" "You know I'm rich, right?" said Naruto. "Yes, you told me. You got a nice inheritance." "That was false. I actually made most of my money off tear gas grenades." Uncle mouth opened wide as she heard that. Holy shit, as she bounced up and down, causing Naruto's eyes to divert to her chest. After all, she was still naked in front of him. "You're the guy that made the crybaby." "That thing's a lifesaver," she said. So that name actually caught on, huh? The crybaby, he said. I can't believe it, Uncle said. Would you like to see how I make them, said Naruto. Well, if you make something like this, she said, pointing towards the hologram, I have no doubt that you made the crybaby. But my question is, why don't you sell the stuff? I mean, imagine how much you can make, she said. I don't want Konoha to benefit too much and upset the balance of power, because I know what they're really gonna try to use it for out there. And I know what I want to use it for, said Naruto. As she waited to hear what he had to say, I envision a world of peace, where hidden villages are removed completely. And all that remains is you and me, and the rest of the world, peaceful. A world that is not governed by a single person, but by people, who we choose, he said to her. I want to make my name. I want to establish that world. I want to give people a right to choose. To have a choice. If there's gonna be peace, I'm gonna take you by force, he told her. She rose up as Naruto continued his speech. Neither of them knew that this was gonna be his first rendition of a soon-to-be very famous speech. Yesterday you told me that you want to make a name for yourself as well. That you want to show him that you're something without him. And you too are hated in this hellhole. They discriminate against you. Then make a name for yourself as my partner in crime and business. Help me establish this order. Help me end misery. Yours, mine, and the rest of the world misery, he told her. Stand beside me and help me do it. He stared at her. As a few minutes passed before she leaned in and kissed him right on the lips. Was that really an elaborate way of asking me out as your girlfriend, she said. Because it worked, she told him. It was some speech, alright, she told him. Answer the question, uncle. You want to help me establish order or not? Yes, and don't worry too much about me being your girlfriend, she said. I'm not too possessive, and I don't mind sharing, she said with a wink. I don't want you as my girlfriend, he said. I enjoy our current relationship. Giving it a name would just complicate it. Good, she said as she kissed him once again. Their kiss deepened as she threw him on the bed, as she jumped right on top of him. Now, can I ask you a question, she said. And what is that, he asked. Would you like to come into my folds, she said to him, as a grin came on his face. Time skip. Naruto didn't know it happened, but after the week just flew by, as he was triangulating everything how Uncle Roll would play into this. She became a housemate of his. Since Mari, Naruto has not let anyone in. But Uncle was different. She knew who he was, what he was about, and what he wanted to achieve. And in a way they were in the same boat. Not to mention she was quite knowledgeable in poison and herbs. She was going to help him a lot in the biology department. One thing led to another and soon she decided that she wanted to be a part of the company for real. So she sold off her mother's flat and spent all that money as a buy-in. According to Naruto calculations, that money would give her roughly 5%. It wasn't a lot and he had actually given her for cheap because he was richer than that. But he didn't want to make her feel small, so 5% was a good round number. Obviously though, she didn't have any other house. And Naruto had no problem with her being here, because that meant their activities would be on a nightly basis. After bearing her soul to him when they spoke, something just changed between their relationship. First it was sex, yes, that was good, but now something had changed, as he felt rather comfortable with her here. Not to mention, she makes some great coffee. As Naruto came to a realization though, if he was going to establish peace, he needed to unite everyone together. That meant there had to be one more war. The world was always on the verge of war. One was right around the corner, but he hoped that he'll be able to handle it though. People would probably tell him that what he was dreaming for was noble, but he wanted to make a stamp on the world, which was pretty selfish. A stamp that will be known for generations upon generations. He was still in bed as he thought about all of this. Uncle was beside him as he was sure that she was asleep now. She had her hands full with the interrogation department. They were trying to extract information from Mizuki. Information that Naruto told her did not exist. But they thought that it would be worth a shot to take a glean into how Orochimaru operates. But Naruto knew that Mizuki was too far down the food chain. Orochimaru would not tell him anything. Immersed in his thoughts, Uncle woke up. As she saw the look on his face. What are you thinking about? She said. A lot of things he wanted to tell her, but he didn't want to bother her. It's your day off, he said. How do you want to spend the day? As much as I would like to just lie in bed with you and have sex all day, she said. I think today is reserved for someone else, she said, sounding apologetic. As Naruto had not discussed the terms of their relationship, but hopefully, it was on their mutual respect and understanding. She was free to do as she pleased. and he the same. However, they will still remain friends, and they will never let anything else get in the way. If you want to have sex with someone else, don't sound so guilty, said Naruto. It's fine. As Anko laughed at that. I don't want this to feed into your male fantasy of yours, but I wasn't lying when I told you the other day that I don't mind sharing. And you kind of ruined me for everyone else. It wouldn't feel as good, she said, with anyone else. Besides, I was talking about Nai-chan. From the few weeks that he had known her, he knew that Nai-chan was Kurenai Yuai, the hot genjutsu mistress of the leaf. I didn't know that you were into sleeping with women, he said. I am, she said, as he looked towards her. As she laughed, seeing the look on his face. But she was not kidding though. However, Kurenai is not. I love her, and we might be really great friends and partners and everything, but she's always gonna be my best friend, Uncle said. She's really hot, right? Would you still feel that way if I sleep with her, said Naruto, in a joking tone. Well, you're gonna have to take that up with her boyfriend, said Uncle. As Naruto told her he wouldn't dream of doing something like that, as he had an unspoken rule. He would not go after any woman that was already spoken for. She feels out of the loop recently. She doesn't understand what caused me to move in with you, Uncle said. I didn't know that our move was so public, said Naruto. Naruto, we're both people with negative reputation who move in together. Don't you think people are talking, she said. As she gave him a kiss on the lip before, she got up and went to the bathroom. Hold on, said Naruto. What are they talking about? Nothing, she said. You know, just random stuff. Come on, you have to tell me, said Naruto. Naruto, she said, looking towards him. He still don't know how she could be that fully naked in front of him and yet looked so unbothered by it. Even Mari was a bit, well, embarrassed when being fully naked in front of him in this perfect lighting. If you want to unify the world, you can't be too out of touch with people. You need to understand what is going on. You can't just be up here, away from the populace, she told him. I'll look into that, said Naruto. Now, are you gonna tell me what they talk about, he asked. Well, they're talking about how you're living in a mansion, and how you were able to afford a mansion that big, apparently. The civilian council is making a great deal over it. They don't want you to get anything of sorts, and they're also a myth because general property transfer and things of that nature aren't taken care by the Hokage, even when it comes to the ninjas. As Naruto started to feel angry at that, he could deal with the blind hatred of the populace, but this was becoming a bit too much. Anko got dressed as she walked over, as she gave him one last kiss on the lips. Don't let them get to you, she said. From what I know, the matter has already been sorted out. The Hokage told them with as much secrecy as possible that the mansion was already yours, and it has been for a long time now. I can't believe how much they hate me, said Naruto. I didn't know that hate like that was possible, he said. Come on, she said, nudging him. Don't let it bother you. Trust me, when you've been hated for a long while, you're just gonna let it roll off you whenever you feel more hatred coming your way. Well, it only took me around 25 years to get there, she told him. Plus, if you really plan to do what you're gonna do, you're gonna have a lot of future glory haters, she said. So take this as practice. Now, I have to go. I'll see you later. Are you sure you don't want to eat breakfast, she said. Nope. See you later, she said. Have a good day with Kurenai Yuai, Lady Uncle, said AI. You know, this whole omnipotent thing around the house is starting to freak me out. Can't you give her a body, Uncle asked. As Naruto placed hand to his chin, she waved goodbye as she left. You know, maybe we should think about giving you a body, AI, said Naruto. If you're indeed gonna give me a body, I would prefer that you give me an attractive female form. I am sure that is how I feel, she said. As Naruto laughed, I was thinking of giving you a body of a fat butler, but thanks for that, he said. That is a joke. It's good that my joke recognition seemed to work very well, AI told him, as that caused him to laugh even more. Sir, there's a visitor at your door. I believe that you know her very well. Her name is Mari Fubuki. As Naruto froze hearing that, he hadn't heard that name in a long while. It's been a year and a couple of months. Luck just had to come back and throw him a curveball, just when everything was going well. When she had just left him, Naruto wanted to make her hurt. He wanted to make her feel jealous. He'd feel like walking over to her place with 2 or 3 women on his arm, but that was just petty, and he went against it. Well, sir, she's waiting, AI said. As Naruto proceeded to make his way outside, he was surprised to see Kurenai at the gate, with Anko and Mari as well. Who the hell are you, Anko asked, as Naruto came down the slope of the mansion. She's a friendly Anko, said Naruto. Hello, Kurenai, said Naruto. Kurenai smiled and mumbled something, before she decided that looking away from Mari and Anko was the best thing to do. Hello, Naruto, Mari said. As Naruto wanted to punch himself because he missed the sound of her voice. New girlfriend, she asked. She seemed sadder than usual. Her eyes were red, and it was obvious that she was crying. Oh, I'm a woman, Uncle said. Who the hell are you? Is she the ex that you told me about? She seems like it, she said, looking towards Naruto. Naruto had told her about Mari the day that she moved in. It seemed fair to tell her because she told him everything. However, he never said a name because he didn't feel like it was gonna come up. Uncle, you go and spend time with Kunai. Doing whatever it is that you do, he said. Are you gonna be fine, she said, concern in her tone. As Naruto simply nodded. Good, said Uncle. And this is for you, she said, looking towards Mari. She walked over, she pulled Naruto into a passionate, deep kiss. She kissed him for a whole minute, until she broke it and skipped towards Kunai and Sunshine away with her. She's feisty. I like her, said Mari. You do realize that she insults you, right, said Naruto. As Mari nodded. Yes, but she seemed perfect for you. You always have a thing for the feisty girls, it seems. Maybe that is why you were into me, she said. As she was bringing up bad memories. I was into you because I thought that you were intelligent, unlike any other girls. That you accepted me. And I thought that I was in love with you, he said. She sniffed her nose at that. Another sign that she had been crying. Don't make me feel worse than how I already feel about it, she said. I already know how much of an idiot I am, she said to him. What a big mistake I made. It takes losing something to remind you of its value, she said to him. He wanted to feel happy. He had told her that she would regret it one day. However, he never expected her to regret it so soon. And the strange thing was, he didn't feel happy. I blamed you for things that were not in your control. I kept thinking about all the times that we had shared together, and I questioned if you were just putting up an act. Maybe I should have been smarter and realized that it was not going to be that way, she told him. I should have realized that you weren't faking it, but it took me a long time. 6 months ago, I came to a decision that I was wrong about you, and I wanted to win you back. Is that what this is then, said Naruto, in a harsh tone. You're trying to win me back? Not anymore, she said. Seeing that woman, I realized you moved on, and I lost you forever, which is probably a good thing, and I should probably move on too. Why are you here, said Naruto, as he wanted her to get to the point. She laughed. I tend to digress sometimes, she said. You know that. As he knew that very well. It was one of the things about her he found adorable. My family was killed, Naruto, she said. Naruto's stone-faced expression turned to one of shock. It happened 2 weeks ago. The funeral was yesterday. My mom and dad were traveling together in a caravan, and then she broke into tears once again. As Naruto did not know what to do. Was he gonna stand there, or was he gonna comfort her? The last year had changed him. He had opened up. As he wasn't going to let what happened with her hold him back as he moved forward, however, she brushed him off. She would be mad. Even as there was tears in her eyes, she let out a small laugh as she wagged her finger. She'd always been someone that was rather amusing. As Naruto remembered that fondly. Is there anything I can do, said Naruto. Not really. I'm taking over their business, but not here. I'm leaving, she said. As Naruto could understand why she was doing that. This place holds too many bad memories, she said. I just came over to do this. She moved as she kissed him on the lips. It was a brief peck, as innocent as they came. He was not gonna judge her for that. I really want to do that, she said. Where were your parents killed, said Naruto. On the way to the Wave Country. There's been a lot of incidents there. I warned them about it, but they didn't listen. If I ever go there, I'll find the bandits and avenge your parents, said Naruto. As that made her laugh a bit. Don't be silly, Naruto, she said. I just want to say goodbye and apologize for being an idiot. Apology accepted, said Naruto. He didn't know why, but it felt like a load off his chest had been removed. And it's okay, we're all idiots. Well, not me. I'm a genius, he said. As that made her laugh. Promise me something, she said. Don't close yourself off. Be honest with this girl. You have no idea how much you already know, said Naruto. Can I drop you off somewhere, he asked her. I'll see myself home, she said with a smile. As she turned to walk away. Have a nice life, she said. You as well, said Naruto. As with that she disappeared, out of his sight of view. As he stood there for a while. Time skip. Today was Monday, which meant that Naruto was gonna find out which poor son of a bitch was saddled with his team. looking at his two teammates and him. The person was gonna have a really tough time. Team 7 has Naruto flicker into the training ground, where they were supposed to meet up. Shikamaru was already on the ground, looking up to the sky. He heard that he was a big fan of astronomy, and had a telescope. Maybe he was trying to look at the stars. Well, that was kind of hard during the day. Sakura was looking as ravishing as ever. Her clothing had changed, revealing her impressive cleavage even more. Sakura, looking as ravishing as ever. Did you wear that for me, he said, making her giggle. Why don't you come closer and find out, she said, as Naruto obliged and stepped forward, but before he could reach her, she held out as she grabbed his arm, feeling his muscles. While Naruto was not one of strenuous work, he knew that physique was a good thing, so it wasn't like he was lacking in that department. Don't come any closer than that. If you want to see what's underneath my clothing, then you'll have to work for it, she said. As she winked, nice muscles. Your flirtation makes me really uncomfortable, said Shikamaru. Can you please do this somewhere else? Maybe in a room, he said to them. Does that make you feel uncomfortable, Shikamaru, said Naruto. Come on, you're a guy, right? Don't you find her ravishing as well? For your information, I have a girlfriend, said Shikamaru. As Naruto eye widened at that, as Sakura confirmed it, he has been seen canoodling with Shio, a member of the cryptanalysis department. I think they make a cute couple, especially when she takes those glasses off, she told him. Is that so? So, how's the sex, said Naruto. As Shikamaru had a bored look as usual. The sex is perfectly average, just the way I like it, he said. As Naruto and Sakura laughed at that. What a great team, a voice said as they turned. As Naruto focused on the man, he had seen the man before. He was the son of the third Hokage, Asuma Sarutobi. Two of them are just dying to rip each other clothes off, and the third one couldn't be bothered to be bothered. We're going to have a lot of fun together, Team 7, he told them. As Naruto smiled, the man was right, they were going to have a lot of fun together. Well, he sure was. Time skip. I'm home. A familiar voice called out. As Naruto turned his head, he had spent the last few hours at his desk, working on the curse seal to try to find out what made the thing tick. He looked to see and it was Anko. Her eyes were droopy, as she was just as tired as him. Hey, said Naruto as she gave him a kiss on the cheek, telling him that she was going to change into something that she wore at night. However, Anko usually did not wear things at night, and that brought a smirk to his face. He was slightly disappointed when he saw that she was wearing a night dress when she came back, although it was a bit skimpier than most. So that brought back the grin. Sorry, but today was a real tiresome day. Can we just cuddle instead, she said. As Naruto decided that he was also done for the day, as he gave her a smile. They found themselves in bed, sharing a blanket. Cold night, said Naruto as she nodded. Tell me about it. It's gonna snow. I can feel it. It never snows in Konoha. I don't think that has ever happened, said Naruto. But anyway, enough about that. Tell me about Mizuki. I hear that you guys are questioning him in your department. Is it going well? The bastard doesn't even talk. Ibiki want to turn the torture up to 11 tomorrow. He's the reason why I'm so tired. You get tired of torturing people. I thought you liked that, said Naruto. As she smiled. Yes, it's possible. Of getting tired of something that you love to do. I mean, I love sex. However, I don't want you to do that right now, she said. So you see, as Naruto nodded, well, I could understand that. Did you get anywhere with the curse mark, she asked. He shook his head no. I've been reading on it, but I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if there's a solution. It's just Urchmark keep on changing the designs. I really hope there's a standard by now, he said. And here I thought that you were a super genius that could solve any problem. I mean, that is what you told me yesterday. As Naruto gulped. Maybe he shouldn't be so forward next time, until he looked into things a bit more. But he was. Yeah, I am, he said. And not to mention Asuma is a slave driver. He doesn't really give us much time to do anything else. Quit whining. Welcome to the life of a genin. You're at the bottom of the barrel. You're gonna have to work hard, she said. I know. I just don't see the point of working your genin to death. Are you sure that Kurenai did not put Asuma up to this? For the millionth time. No. He'd asked her this a lot before. She hasn't told him anything, actually. She doesn't even care about who I live with. As long as I'm happy. Are you happy with this arrangement, said Naruto. She looked at him. There was a look in her eyes that he couldn't quite describe. As she kept on looking at him for a while, before she smiled and rested her head right on his chest. I'm ecstatic. Not only is that good, but you're a great friend as well. And I'm glad that you pester me enough to share my secrets with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here right now. Not to mention it's made me feel so much better, honestly. I suppose it's a good thing, said Naruto, but there is more. Before we go to sleep, as she groaned at that. Seriously, if you're planning on keeping me up, you might as well have sex with me, she said. No, seriously, said Naruto, this is important. Listen up. Is this about the fold, she asks. I want to talk to you about what you're gonna help me in. I know that you've been chipping in ideas here and there, but you do own 5% of the company. So, I want you to chip in a little more, he said. Naruto, I'm pretty busy with my day job. How do you expect me to help you more than I already am? I'm not asking you to quit your job, said Naruto. I'm asking you to help with the biology division, he said. An intrigued look came on her face as he mentioned that. A biology division, she said. We've already spoken about this, but the more I think about it, the more it enhanced me, but that is not my field. I'm a mechanic and an electrical guy, but if I want to do what I want to do, I'm gonna need a biology department. Just imagine making medicine that can cure disease faster, that can give us such a gigantic boost in wealth, that we would have enough money that we don't even know what to do with. And a part of that, if there was a way to do it without any side effects, we would be pretty good in a fight as well, said Naruto. As she thought about it. I can help with that, she said, but not if I'm alone. Is there anyone else that you have in mind? As Naruto nodded, he had thought about it for a bit. Chakra was someone that fit right in the biology division. She was quite trustworthy from what he had seen, plus she was gifted of the understanding of the human body, which meant that she would make a great medic in the future. As he told Uncle all of that, this Chakra girl, you're talking about Chakra Haruno, the top kunoichi of the class, Uncle asks. They're saying good things about her in our department. People are saying that she's gonna go quite far. That's good then. She's also pretty attractive, and I would totally end up sleeping with her, said Naruto, which made Uncle laugh. You know, if she's too attractive, I might get there first, Uncle said. Maybe she's not into girls, but maybe she is, and if she is, you're done because I'm a lot more sexier than you, she said to him. If that's the case then maybe I'll join you, said Naruto, as he drifted closer to her. Just imagine the three of us in one bed. She took a deep breath in. Isn't it a bit too kinky, she asks, as their face got extremely close. Not really, maybe. She would appreciate that a lot, said Naruto. Maybe that's not a bad idea, Uncle said, as she grabbed his head and pulled him in for a kiss. Time skip. Are you gonna wake them up, or should I do the honors? Asked Shikamaru, as him and Chakra stood there. Lying on the bed was the two, Naruto and Uncle, presumably naked under the sheets. There were clothes all over the place. I can't believe that he's sleeping with Uncle. Apparently, she's really good in bed, Chakra said. She admired the way Uncle's face looked while she was sleeping. Yes, she's a very attractive woman, said Shikamaru. She's the kind of woman that makes women that don't sleep with women sleep with women. Should I come up with a better tongue twister, or are you gonna wake these two up? There's a million other places I'd rather be than be in another man's bedroom while he's naked with his girlfriend. I'm extremely sorry for my sir behavior. A voice called out. He told me not to disturb him and let him wait naturally. But he also told me to open the door for you too once you showed up because he invited you too. Shikamaru just stood there. The voice made Chakra jump, but Shikamaru just stood there. It was a whole minute before he looked around. What was that, he said. He told us about this, remember? He had this amazing thing he wanted to show us, and it was gonna blow our minds, said Chakra. It is disturbing how much he sounds like me, Chakra told him. Oh, so you do remember, Chakra Haruno. About the time that Naruto had asked you to record a few projects. I was the finishing product of that. I am after all a modified version of your voice, so do not be alarmed. That's all well and good, but do you mind telling us who you are? My destination is not clear, my master didn't really have a name for me. He and Miss Uncle just called me AI. So that is what you should call me as well. Uncle woke up as she saw the two, as they weren't really paying attention. What the hell, she said, as that woke Naruto up as well. I'm out of here, said Shikamaru as he left, as Chakra turned back towards Uncle. Time skip. I completely forgot about telling you guys. I'm so sorry, said Naruto. I understand completely. If I was in your position, I would probably forget to breathe, said Shikamaru. As Naruto smirked at that, causing the two girls to raise an eyebrow. I'm just saying, said Shikamaru. Today was a rare day. Team 7 was given a day off. As they sat at the breakfast table, eating breakfast. You're funny, Uncle said, in a dry tone. So, what do you want to talk about, Chakra said. Well, we want to talk about the foal, Uncle said. As Shikamaru and Chakra looked confused. As Naruto smirked like he just won a bet. I told you that they wouldn't understand this way. You have to explain everything, Naruto told her. As he got up and proceeded to do that, explain everything. Around half an hour later, as Shikamaru was standing there, rather shocked, Sakura was beyond impressed what the blonde just told her. What you're planning to do, said Shikamaru. It's not gonna be easy. And it's not something the two of you can do all by yourself. You need a lot of people to make this work. Exactly, said Naruto. That is where you come into the fold. Naruto, said Shikamaru, there's no way I'm gonna help you if you keep on calling it that. It sounds really creepy. I know, right, said Uncle, as Naruto snorted, as Sakura just nodded. I understand if you guys need some time to think about it. Take as long as you want. Time skip. With that meeting, Naruto knew that it will take some time, so he waited until they came back to him with their answers. However, now they were on a mission. So let me get this straight. You want us to catch big cats? Said Naruto. Yes, there's an animal smuggling ring that has kidnapped some tigers. And as you know, they're going extinct. So we will have to deal with them. With all the research that Orochimaru had done, Naruto could take that and use one of those tigers to create several other tigers and then create more and more and more, so they would no longer be seen as a endangered species. I've heard about something contracts. I think having a tiger contract would be pretty cool. Don't you think, said Shikamaru. As Naruto nodded, I wonder if someone out there has a tiger contract, Shikamaru said. They were in a clearing staring at a small hill. There was nothing interesting about the hill, Shikamaru pointed out. But behind the hill was where the target was. It was a clever little hideout. So here's the deal, Asuma said. We're going to go in and we're going to throw a crybaby in. But Sensei, what about those poor tigers, Sakura said, concerned in her voice. Yes, they're tigers, but they're probably covered on their tarps. It's a risk we will have to take. We're not going to lose anyone after all. Once the bandits are distracted by the smoke, Naruto and I will use ninjutsu and neutralize the entire squad. You two are going to be helping securing the cages. We have a far more experienced team coming along that will be doing the actual moving. So this is our mission, he said. They quickly got into formation as Shikamaru and Sakura put on their masks. So, you seem to have great faith in my abilities, said Naruto. You work with my father. I know that now. So I know you have talent, said Asuma. Plus, you're screwing my girlfriend best friend, he said. You know, I know it looked like Uncle might be a bit loose, but she's a hard woman to be around on a constant basis. I disagree. I think she's a sweetheart. You will just have to get to know her. But another time. Let's barbecue these bastards, said Naruto. You know, you could have said something like smoke this place, or make people cry. It was far better using puns, Asuma said. I know, but that's a joke. Charge, Naruto said, as he rushed forward and barreled through the iron door of the hideout. Asuma blinked. He didn't even put on his mask, he thought to himself. Time skip. As Harrison looked towards Asuma, surprised. You're telling me that Naruto charged without a mask and neutralized the threat all by himself? Yeah, and the tear gas. It did not work on him, which is weird, Asuma said. How was the rest of the team? Sarutobi asked. They did their jobs even though there was not much to do, Asuma said. Shikamaru's eye coming up with plans, and Naruto has the strength and gall to go along with it. If today was any indication, plus that doesn't even count Sakura in the equation, and she's very smart and I can see her becoming a medic in the future. So overall, you think this team has a future? I think they have a future, a very, very bright one. They will all go far, Asuma said. That brought a smile to Hiruzen's face. Time skip. So, said Naruto. A successful first mission. Did they get the tigers out, he asked, as he took a sip of the steak in his glass. How did you not get affected by the crybaby? Sakura asked with curiosity in her tone. I designed the whole thing. Did you really think I wouldn't make an antidote to my own tear gas grenade? As Sakura smiled at that, making Shikamaru groan. They had come to the bar to share drinks after a successful mission. The drinks had been flowing. As they had drank a while, Sakura had a blush in her cheek. As Naruto felt himself, he was still fine. Shikamaru had his eyes closed for a long period of time. However, he wasn't sleeping. He was doing Shikamaru things. Do you hear about what the other teams are doing for their initiation? Said Sakura. Shikamaru shook his head without opening his eyes. Choji hasn't told you anything? He shook his head no once again. He hasn't been in the village since 2 days ago, he said. Explain this initiation business, said Naruto. You know, if you want to know about all of this, maybe you should have shown up for the class, she said. I'm too awesome for class, Naruto said. Wouldn't I'm too cool for school be better? Asked Shikamaru. Shut up, said Naruto. Anyway, said Sakura. The initiation mission is a new standard, implemented since last year. Because we have to train for 6 years. Until we turn 18, many people drop out. The second Hokage deemed it unimportant to have another test, to make us test to be ninjas once again. So this is where the initiation come in. Teams that are formed went under initiation progress by their sensei and captain with their watch, and if they're not up to snuff, they will either be sent back or shuffled around. I think we're fine, said Shikamaru. We perform our mission abnormally. Despite Naruto coming off as a headstrong idiot, we managed to pull it off without a hitch. Well done me, said Naruto, as he took another drink. Shikamaru still had his eyes closed. So you and Uncle, huh? Sakura said. How long has this been going on? It's been a while. I've lost count, said Naruto. Wait 1 second, Shikamaru said, as he opened his eyes. That's not the reason why we're here alone. What other reason do you have, said Naruto? Unless you're gonna tell me that you decide to join the team, said Naruto. That is exactly what we had been talking about before you came along. It's gonna be a difficult task, but the future that you told us about is one that we can look forward to. And you're gonna need a lot of help pulling it off. So, I'm in, said Shikamaru, as he held his hand out for a handshake, as Naruto shook it. He didn't know why, but he felt grateful for that. As he turned towards Sakura, as she simply smiled. I'm in too, she said, as that brought a smile to Naruto's face. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification so you post it, remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And don't forget to stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels, Anime Making, Anime Making 2, and Making 3, and Anime Prince, guys, that I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead and destroy that subscribe button and become part of the family, guys. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys soon. Peace, guys.